we're going to go into a little story, which obviously involves me as well. Once we'd seen you on the business show, and I had consultation with you, Emma, and said, right, okay, these are my circumstances. Can you help me with some insurance? And let's just briefly talk about what sort of things you need to know when you do a consultation.
Just basic information, nothing too deep. We can just find out your date of birth, smoker status, any current cover that you've got, mortgages, any children, and then we can go away then and search the market to provide you with a package to protect all of that. Even with myself, we've looked at our mortgage, we've recently taken out extra finance to build an extension. Some people don't take them little bits into consideration, so we'll ask you all the questions to do that fact find around your life, get to know you a little bit, and then we'll go away and do all the work for you.
Now, once we'd had our consultation, excuse me, you came back within a couple of weeks and said, right, Lee, here's a little package. Typical bloke, I've looked at the email and gone, right, I must sort that, and I'll do that towards the end of the day. Which got towards the end of the week, which then got towards... She's looking at me now with this face like, why I order? And eventually it ended up being about a month, and then you sent me a reminder, said, Lee, please, will you have a look at the documents I've sent? There's still a little bit of movement there. We can look at this, we can look at that. Will you get it sorted? And I was like, oh, right, I'm so busy. We think we're so busy. But it's about priorities. It is about priorities. 2 months down the line, I've still not done anything about it. So you can give me a little bit of telling off now, publicly.
I will. You've really annoyed me.
Just do it.
We should just have sorted it out. I could slap you.
It's a good job there's no shovel. It's not a good job there's no shovel in the studio. I'd have it around the side of my face. Anyway, so the bad news is, and we're trying to keep this quite light. We don't want it to be terrible listening, but a couple of weeks ago, I was diagnosed with a tumour at the base of my brain. And you can imagine the first thing that goes through your mind, you think, oh no, this, that, what am I going to do about this? Is it up? And I had to go through a weekend of sort of like uncertainty because they hadn't properly diagnosed it, just clocked it on a CT scan, and then I'm sent off for MRI scans, and I did another weekend in limbo where they couldn't really tell me much until the specialists had seen it. And then all of a sudden it dawned on me, hang on a minute, what if I'm off work, and I can't earn, and I can't do this and that? What about my house? What about my car? What about my son? What about... And all these things start to dawn on you, and then all of a sudden, the biggest dawn, it was like an anvil being dropped from the ceiling. My insurance. My insurance that Emma was sorting for me. And that's when it dawned on me. We tend to procrastinate a little bit, don't we, with things like insurance. And what I wanted to say to anybody out there that doesn't have any form of personal insurance, get it sorted with Emma right now, because I'm in a situation now where I came back to you, didn't I, Emma, and said, look, this is what's happened. And the bad news is...
They won't look at you yet, they won't insure you, and you thought that, it's going to cost me a month's salary. You actually thought you still could get insurance, but actually no, not until we know what it is. They have the operations or the medication and treatment, and then you're clear for a certain amount of years. They won't insure you at all, so unfortunately there is nothing that we can do.
And the other thing is, Emma, with something like that, which 3 weeks before was totally unknown, and therefore the insurance would have gone through and would have been in place. And now, not only is it not possible, but I need a little bit of clear time, and also at the end of that clear time, there's a good chance it'll be a lot more money as well because of a historic condition.
Or it could still be postponed even longer, so again, we don't know until we have all the outcomes, so...
Is it something that you see quite often, that, where people just keep putting it off?
You'll be so surprised. Honestly, we've been only doing this for 11 months, although I've been in the industry for 10 years. Cover My Bubble's been 11 months, and we've seen so many examples, from 30-year-old ladies to, people losing their husbands, yourself. We find a lot, and also people that again have put it off for a few months, but then they have had a little scare, and then they've thought, let's sort it out, but then they find out we can't until you've been to the doctors and actually got that diagnosis and everything's okay. It takes as little as 20 minutes to sort out your insurances. Just spend that time to invest in yourself and protect yourself and your family, your children, and then it's done then. Let us do it all for you.
Now, whilst I've had some fairly positive feedback from my GP, and I must say I've got to give a big thanks to Dr. McKean, Dr. Will McKean, down at Castle Medical Group, who's been just absolutely amazing. The feeling of regret I have now is something else I'm having to deal with. And so whilst the news has been a little bit positive, that regret that, oh, why didn't I do it? And honestly, I wouldn't want anybody to go through that. And so all I can say is that, as we said, mentioned earlier, if you haven't got any form of health insurance in place, personal insurance, then give Emma a call. You'll hear her adverts, and you'll also see the contact information on our Facebook page. But don't delay. Get it done, because now I'm in a position where I'm regretting not getting it done. Emma, a few last words? Don't tell me off again, please.
Oh, no, I couldn't. I just couldn't. You're too cute. No, just honestly, just please don't put it off. Let us do everything for you, and then we can provide a suitable package which is affordable but gives you the protection that you need for your family.